All right, welcome back. It's time to start the twin motor project. Excuse me. So if you didn't catch the hint, I did a flash. We're going to be taking the YouTube infraction and converting it to a twin motor infraction. And the reason for this build is we're coming up on 3,000 subscribers. So figure start this project and make the modification to the YouTube infraction. So went ahead and got a couple of 1700 kV 4050 can TP motors along with a twin motor brace. Now there's still a bunch of parts coming in, but I want to get this thing set up. I know that the motor right here is going to get in the way of the steering servo, so I'm going to have to flip that around. So right now what we're going to be doing is gutting most of this and getting the ESCs and getting the motors placed on where I want them. Now I want to retain both battery trays, so the plan is to run each motor on 8S. So 8 plus 8 is 16, as everybody knows. That's just a funny meme. But anyways, I'm going to get this thing set up in here. I do have an EMP motor mount system that I'm going to be installing into this, along with some diff cups and some hardened drive shaft pins, along with they have a motor plate that mounts on top of this. Now across from this is a plastic motor support. I do have one coming in aluminum to get rid of the plastic, because with the heat, if the bearing seizes or anything that happens, it's definitely gonna create problems. And then I do have a set of ceramic bearings coming for it as well. This RC is truly going to be a beast when I'm done with it. So stay tuned, watch this build. It's going to be a blast. You know, anytime you can overpower an RC, it's definitely going to be a good time. So Rattle Can on Lexan did the paint work on this. It's been holding up great. He rhino lined the inside of the body, which is awesome. So this is all white rhino lining, which has made it real durable. So I am going to be cleaning it up, and I will be taping it. As you see, I am getting some rubbing on the front tires. I have this set up really low on the RC. Yeah, so let's get this thing stripped down. So this has a Castle system in it. Gap Reviews A to Z had put this system in. This is a 1515 can, which is really a good motor, 2200 kV motor. Along with the Castle ESC. I'm not a big fan of this ESC. I think I've got a couple of them. I haven't run them. They are 6S ESCs. So this will be coming out of here, and I'll be running dual ESCs. Stay tuned for that. You'll see which ones we'll be running. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm not sure how he had mounted that in there. I'm assuming it's two-sided tape down. So I'm hoping that I don't think I covered up any of the screws. I usually don't with I have some patch kits, and shout out to Team Vega RC supplying these block off plates right here for the YouTube infraction. So I'm gonna get to stripping some of this stuff out of here, because we're not gonna need any of the stuff that's in this. Now this system's not gonna go to waste. This system, I believe, I'm gonna stick in, little heads up. So the plan is to pull this out and convert over to 6S. I don't know what steering servo is in this. I know this was a limitless, so this thing, all the electronics were put in by Gap Reviews A to Z. So I'm not sure which steering servo he opted to get, but I do have a Servox servo coming, because I want that good speed. Now I'm trying to get my hands in the way of the camera again. Sorry guys, just habit. So I did throw in my Futaba receiver, because the RC did not come with a receiver. Everything is two-sided taped, so two-sided tape. Castle systems mount down really good because they're flat on the bottom. Now these came with the hardware when you bought a Limitless, and there was a washer on each one for mounting down your servo. So make sure you don't lose it, because like that bolt, missing the washer. So yeah, only one bolt was missing the washer. So it has got the $20 servo in it. So that's not staying. Now when I mount stuff down, I use 3M so that this comes off. On this side, it's the cheap foam backing stuff, which doesn't come off. So we'll get that sorted as well. Motor is out. I am going to be sticking the screws back in it so that they don't get lost. Everything I'm pulling out, because pulling out this tray and this complete motor system, it might be worth picking up another roller. so that we can put all our stuff in it. I bet you if I bought a chassis, I could probably build a Limitless with all the spare parts I have. So I'm going to take out this cross brace now. I'm wondering if I should just remove it or just flip it up. Removing it might be the way to go, because I was watching my edit on the summit I just did, and that was hilarious. My elbow was in most of the shots. So I'm sticking some of the hardware back in. I should pull out my MIP bits. And this does have a Limitless. This does not have a diff. Look at the size of that gear. Looks like a 17 tooth M1 on that. So that's definitely not a stock gear ratio, because here's a stock Limitless which runs a 34. So it looks like a gear was put onto that. So we are definitely, we might go with the bigger gear. Because if I go bigger and then undersize my pinion, if my pinion's smaller than my spur, we will be overspinning it, which is probably the way I want to go with a dual motor system. But you can tell the size difference between a Limitless gear and an oversized M1 gear. So Big Gap probably did that to go ahead and get some speed taken out of it, because he was road racing it. He wasn't doing top speeds. So that 17 tooth gear will slow it way down. But let's get this motor mount out of here. Hopefully these, I won't have to heat these up. I might have to. They are definitely in there. Definitely a lot of Loctite in that one. Look at all the white. Wonder if these are the same bolt sizes. Yeah, so we'll be reusing those bolts. On putting our twin motor mount setup in. Look at all that dirt. rocks, gravel, dirt. So I'm going to pause it here. Now that we got it gutted, I'm going to go give this chassis a little cleaning so that we're not putting parts on top of dirt. Let me stick that back in the servo so I know where it goes. All right, welcome back. Went ahead and got the chassis cleaned up. Got the two motors put in it. Got the cat packs, Ripple Killer, of course. That's what we're going to use for both ESCs. So now trying to find placement for everything. Cat packs will probably end up back here somewhere. Last time I put them in here, but I think back here is going to be a better place for them since there's two now and not just one. So here is the EMP mount system, but this is for one motor. Here is the plate that will be replacing the plastic one. And here is the EMP motor mount, which I gotta find my other one because this is the broken one. It's funny, the top plate is cut out for this side motor, but not cut out for that side motor. I don't think it matters though. So, here's the one. I need this mount. Since I'm not using it for an ESC, I am going to take this mount. This will go back to being like this, and then we'll zip tie this around the bar. Just test fitting. Those aren't ESCs that are going in there. But they're about the size of the ESCs I'm going to be running. So my plan is I'm going to run two Mamba Monster X's 8S ESCs. The plan is to mount them here. So what I'll have to do is one will go this way, one will go this way, and I can mount them up on the plate like that. And then these wires can be extended, plugged in here. These wires extended, plugged into here for both 8S Mamba Monster X's. So it should be a really relatively clean setup. These are 6S ESCs. I will be running 8S ESCs. So, but that's the plan. I think that's going to work out really, really well for what I'm trying to accomplish. Now that they came out with 8S ESCs, it in a smaller compact form is so much better. So I'm still gonna need to run this plastic one down here. I'll have to run this to hold in this gear, but I'm still waiting for bearings. So you guys get pretty much the idea of what I'm going for. Here's the tool so that I could press out the pins in here and put hardened ones in them. These are the hardened steel pins that I run in all my drive shafts. That way I don't bend them. Everybody says they're bending from power, but what I found was the pins, they would pop out of the cup because they would wear. They would get jammed, twist the drive shaft, and come apart. So since I've been changing the pins, I've been able to run these factory drive shafts without them bending. They do make thicker, bigger drive shafts for this, but the problem with that is that clearance. I need the space. So, but there we go. This is pretty much going to be our design. 2 ESCs here, running one to each motor, one battery connection on each side, and then a location for the cat packs is my next. So I'm thinking to put the cat packs back here and then just wire them up to each ESC. But we will see. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on my next video. Like, comment, subscribe.